even recently, there was so much talk about the possible Xbox comeback. Like, if you're somebody that sort of follows the console wars or just the state of the industry, there have been conversations now for decades about the idea of Xbox versus Nintendo versus PlayStation.
Here we go
But at this point, the talks are really only about PlayStation and Nintendo.
Oh, really? Is that why you dropped like 10,000 videos telling people that Xbox is dead and you still continue to talk about it? What are you talking about? It seems like even if you're on PlayStation 5, you still talk about Xbox, buddy. Ain't that why you bringing up the handheld? Oh, it seems like the only topics that we talk about, guys, is the Nintendo Switch 2 and the PlayStation 5. Matter of fact, even you PS5 owners ain't even talking about your console because your console can't provide you with anything unlike Xbox. Because that's where all the games at.
Microsoft has, in a lot of ways, completely given up. They just basically put all their stuff third party.
Oh, yeah, just like PlayStation. That's why we're going to be able to play them games on the handheld.
I spent this whole weekend just playing Gears of War Reloaded on my PlayStation 5, which still feels extremely strange. But it seems like Microsoft's idea is to take a separate lane. Not just to try and purely go to be a service-based option. They're not just pushing Game Pass. They're pushing the idea of a more powerful handheld. Now, there's been a lot of leaks about this, but the thing that to make a portable PC. Now, this thing is beefy. It's actually extremely strong. It's honestly some pretty high-end graphics for a gadget that could fit in your backpack.
Sounds like a PlayStation 5 Pro in my hands.
But the price has now leaked. It is over $1,000 for this handheld. $1,000.
And why is that a problem? I mean, you guys picked up a PS5 for $800 just because you can't afford it. Well, there you go. You just said it was powerful. That's all we needed to know. That don't mean the device is trash. Just say you ain't got the type of money. Maybe you got to rob your girlfriend, for some cash. Maybe that's what you got to do. Maybe you could sell her, some of the things you got in the background to compensate for the fact that you can't afford it. But you said it is very powerful. So therefore, it's worth what you're paying for. I mean, you guys are the same type of people out here complaining, talking about, I don't know why somebody would buy a Ferrari or a Lamborghini. I'll just settle for my 1992 Civic Honda. Like, what are y'all doing, man? Like, just say it's a good product, but you don't have the money to be able to afford it. That's perfectly fine.
For a portable Xbox. I mean...
But I thought you said it was an Asus ROG line. Now all of a sudden it's an Xbox?
Complained a lot about the price of the PlayStation 5 Pro.
And you still got it.
Being $700. I've complained a lot about the Nintendo Switch even being $450.
And you still got it. And ain't you the same dude talking about, I don't know why these prices getting more expensive. I don't know, maybe because Dreamcast guy still continues to buy these products, even though he tells you not to get one. So what is the point of this video? If you're going to sit there and complain about the price tag of these things and then go out there and buy it, well then, sir, that makes you a hypocrite. You ain't no different than Mustafa. Or should I say Game Genie?
$1,000 handheld. This is the most niche of niche. But let me take a look at it. I want to break this all down because I have to admit that I'm fascinated by the attempt, but I feel like the results are going to be disastrous at best. Hi, we have the biggest backwards compatibility, and now they've shifted to
and they still do.
Everything will be everywhere. Doesn't matter if you own an Xbox, you can be an Xbox gamer. Your PlayStation is an Xbox. Your headset is an Xbox.
I mean, but didn't you say that we ain't talking about Xbox? I thought they were irrelevant. Didn't you say that it's all about PlayStation 5 and the Nintendo Switch 2? But yet again, we still talking about Xbox, even though you guys keep saying that this company is dead.
I do think the whole this is an Xbox ad campaign has been disastrous, but the other part of it is that this is such a big attempt that I don't think it's going to have any...
How is it a big attempt? They're working with Asus. They were probably going to make a similar device. Microsoft said, you know what, let's chime in. Let's put our button layout, configuration, have something where it's easy to access our OS. Like, this was very easy for them to come up with. This was probably something that Asus was going to do anyway, but Microsoft sealed the deal and made it a far better product. What is the problem? And you know what's even more funny? Expect Microsoft to partner with more companies like this to push out their very own devices. I do think that the Xbox handheld got canceled because honestly, what is really the point of it? You got to ask yourself. I mean, if this is an Xbox and you could do the same thing that you could have did if Microsoft, because Microsoft was probably going to make you a handheld in the very same fashion that these companies are doing, you might as well just work with them and just say, hey, y'all push the products out there. Anybody buying it, they can access Game Pass Ultimate. We'll put 3 months for y'all, and there you go. I don't see why and on top of it, they don't have to worry about the hardware sales of the thing. If people buy it, they buy it. If they don't, they don't. It's that simple to understand, man. But this whole Xbox will be everywhere is most definitely happening. Because even on PlayStation 5, we can't even get past Xbox. I mean, we don't even talk about your own games anymore. I mean, Death Stranding 2's coming out, and y'all too busy getting dominated on Gears of War Reloaded.
Costs you $600 to make, you sell it for $650, right? Well, not with gaming companies. With gaming companies,
oh really?
They purposely eat the cost.
Oh, it's been like that since the NES. Who would have known? So when you guys keep bragging about how the PS5 is making money for Sony, it's actually Sony's losing money every time they decide to sell you the console. But the way they get the money back is through the subscription service and the software, which you people ain't buying on PlayStation, and the subscription service and the software that you buy. That's how they make their money. That's why you got games that are free to play, even though people don't buy the game necessarily, but they buy the things within it, which gives the company money, right? That's how these things work. Bro, how did you not know this? I've been telling y'all this from the beginning. And I feel like now companies are sick and tired of taking those losses. And now they're like, you know what? You gamers pay for it. Y'all don't buy enough games anyway. And I think this is a reflection of our own industry. Because back then, people would buy a few Super Nintendo games. You know what I mean? You had distributors like Blockbuster that would get stockpiles of stuff, which they would have to buy so they can rent their games out. So there was an incentive for why companies would do that. But now people probably pick up one of these and they only play two to three games on it. Companies are tired of taking losses on their own property.
Because they're going to make most of their money on you buying the games, you buying Game Pass.
Unfortunately, that's not what y'all doing on PlayStation, right? This is what I was trying to tell you. So for all the people getting mad at Xbox for pushing this into the limelight, well, guess what? This was going to happen anyway because you guys did not support the gaming industry the way you were supposed to. You guys are at fault. You're the reason why physical media is dying. You're the reason as to why. This is why I try to tell you, stop blaming the companies and start blaming the consumers. Like this same guy here, oh, gaming is getting expensive, but I can most definitely guarantee he gonna find a way to rip off his girlfriend so he can get one of these Xbox, or should I say Asus ROG Allies, because remember, it's not an Xbox, right, necessarily?
And Fortnite V-Bucks, they get a cut of everything on the platform, so they're fine that if it costs them $600 to make the console, they're fine selling it at $550 or something. Anything to get you in board without basically losing all their money.
But that doesn't make sense because Fortnite, they're not really getting the money from Fortnite besides that 30% off probably each microtransaction. Where Sony's getting their money from is that PlayStation Plus. That's where they're getting their money from. You know, where you have to pay PlayStation to essentially toggle an online option. You guys got to think about it. Like, that is pretty expensive. Now, mind you, with the way Microsoft's doing, even though Game Pass and Xbox Live Gold essentially is included, you're essentially really just paid for the games. And that's why as time goes on, I feel like they're going to alleviate that and we're going to have free online multiplayer. But then I do think Game Pass Ultimate will be up to $20 at that point. That is my suggestion. But yeah, this is kind of where the future of gaming is going. You know, gaming is finally growing. It's fully growing out past the hardware. Hardware is not what's bringing the money no more. It never did. It was the software. Then when service and subscriptions came, like with Xbox Live, that's why Sony and Nintendo said, hey, we got to follow suit. I mean, you got Microsoft making money just so they could toggle to play online with their friends.
Microsoft has said they are now going to stop all subsidization. That's why the Xbox continues to get more expensive now instead of cheaper.
And PlayStation will be doing the same.
Cheaper and cheaper. And why it seems like their plan is to just straight up let other people make Xboxes. And in this case, letting somebody do an officially branded Xbox handheld that's even being advertised by Xbox. Now, the ROG Ally White, which is the slightly less powerful, think of it as the Series X. I think it's Microsoft themselves that actually coined the idea of the luxury gamers, which is this concept that there are some people with a lot of disposable income that want that premium gaming experience. They're the people that will buy the $200 Xbox controller or that $200 PlayStation Edge controller.
And why is this a problem? Okay, they're catering to a demographic that you clearly don't have the funds to be able to do. Okay, and why does this bother to you? But to go as far to say that it's a bad product because of how expensive it is crazy. The only reason as to why I say the Pro is a bad product, because look at what you're getting, guys. DRM. You feel me? You gotta buy the detachable disk drive. Does it even come with a stand? It's more than just the price. It's more than just the price. And on top of that, most of the games ain't even updated for the goddamn thing. And if some of them are, some of them run worse and some of them run good. It's just not worth that investment, especially when you're considering 400 to what? No, was it four to 500 to 700 to 800? That's a $300 difference. Now people might say, "Well, Gamester, but this is $1,000. Why do you think this is worth money?" You got to remember, bro. They got to put customizable parts to get that in that thing. That is very expensive to do, especially with the type of power that is underneath that hood. Your whole box is huge. You feel what I'm saying? So, of course, they're able to put a little bit of these compartments, and it's going to be a little bit more affordable to you because they have it's easier to do. It's a bigger console. You feel me? Feel what I'm saying? But a portable, they got to put these microchips and all that, and that can be very expensive to do, especially with the type of power that Microsoft or whoever you want to say is pushing with this handheld device.
There are people that not just have that money, but don't mind spending it to get 1% of a better experience.
1%? Yeah, I felt like that when people picked up the Pro.
I'm not one of those people. I mean, typically, I try and get I don't even have a Pro controller for my Nintendo Switch 2, right? But those people definitely exist. I just feel like if you're making something like this that is supposedly supposed to be on store shelves and stuff, this high price tag, it will just always be prohibitively expensive. I mean, even right now, even if you want to buy a Nintendo Switch, that's $500, right? People won't be able to get over. It is cool that it will be able to play so much. They have talked about the fact that this is going to have Game Pass. It is going to have pretty much every launch run. You can play Steam games on it. You can play all sorts of stuff. Good old games, Battle.net will...
and the most important one, PlayStation games.
On it. I'm very tempted to get this just because...
So why... Okay, hold on. See, this is why I don't get about channels, right? You guys tell people, you fearmonger in this community and tell everybody, don't get it, it's too expensive, Xbox is losing their mind, Nintendo got game key cards, you take these stances and then they're like, I'm considering buying one. I'll consider buying. That is a hypocrite. How are you going to sit there and take a stance on something and then you're going to go out there and buy the product like a dummy? Hold on, let's hear it again.
It is going to have pretty much every launch run. You can play Steam games on it. You can play all sorts of stuff. Good old games, Battle.net will all be on it. I'm very tempted to get this
I'm very tempted to get this.
Because I do want to review it.
Oh, here we go with the review excuse. Because I'm a reviewer. That's why. Hey, guys, I'm going to go get the Switch 2. Why, Gabe? So why? You just said you wasn't going to get one. You said you was going to buy one used. No, I'm going to buy it new because I'm a reviewer. Bruh. And then you guys wonder as to why the gaming community is the way it is. I have no problem with people picking up anything. I got friends that got the Switch 2. I don't care for it. I'm not going to support Nintendo because what I feel is what I'm telling y'all. Okay, this is why people resonate with my channel, because the authenticity. Nobody respects this crap, bro. I'm sorry, as a consumer, I'd rather have a person say, hey, man, it's kind of a nice device. I'm going to go get one, But all this fear-mongering that y'all do, I'm starting to think when Mustafa went to GameStop, he's like, oh, wow, guys, when I went to GameStop to pick up my Switch 2 because it was calling me, and I take no accountability, there was nobody buying it. Oh, maybe because you told everybody online not to get one, so they figured you wouldn't do what you was accusing them of doing, but you and Mustafa went out there and grabbed one anyway for yourself. I'm starting to think that y'all do that to make sure that you get the product. It's like, guys, it's like me telling you, hey, guys, don't get the Switch 2. Don't get the ROG Ally. Don't get it. And then I'm the one walking out with it. Like, what? But I wanted one. I wanted one. Well, I needed more because I'm a reviewer. What?
Person that's very obsessed with my Steam Deck, I have noticed some people excited about it. It definitely seems like everybody I personally, this nails why I feel like this is going to fail. We're just getting to this point now where the advertising and messaging around this doesn't really connect with the product itself. Like, hey, we have this system. This system is really beefy. It plays Xbox games. It's got an Xbox button. Okay, but it doesn't have Game Pass. It doesn't have anything in it. This is a Windows PC. This is something that just plays.
But you can access game. You know what? Go ahead. I don't even care no more.
This isn't an Xbox. I think that it is cool to me that it can play PlayStation stuff. That's kind of interesting.
I think talk a little bit more about that. Oh, here we go.
That the ROG Ally X is too ambitious, and it really just doesn't know the market. Maybe it's just me.
What do you mean? They've been doing these high-end portable devices before they decided to do a partnership with Microsoft. Clearly, they know what they're doing.
I feel like people are getting more broke, more cheap, more willing to spend money on a game that's good.
Oh, really? Because the same people said it with the Switch 2. The same people said it for $80. The same people said it for the game key cards. You even said that you was tempted in buying one of these. Now, me, I'm not in no rush. I'll settle for a Steam Deck. I don't even care if they keep coming out with these products. The more y'all keep coming up with these high-end products, the lower and lower the other ones underneath it become. People might be right. I might not even get an Xbox Ally X, but I'm going to most definitely get something when the time is right, because you guys, it's no different than a phone or a car. You get what I'm saying? I don't mind I don't need a 2025 car. I'll have one a few years low and it look the same exact as the other one. I'm not in a rush because I don't need to have all that power at once. You know what I'm saying? But you people, like, yeah, it's this FOMO crap that y'all do.
But lower price, right? I do think that part of the excitement of the Gears...
And this guy that was complaining about, oh, well, my counter 8% of my Xbox... First off, you want to say about 4,000 of my PS2 games don't work. How many PS1 games they made? They made about a close over, definitely more than a few thousands. Those don't work. The vast majority of my PS3, there's about probably a few thousands. That's about 8, 9, 10. Okay. What are you talking about? And that don't even work on PS4 and 5. There's thousands of games that don't work on PlayStation. To use that as a knock towards the Xbox Ally X is absolutely crazy to me. Because if y'all saying that it's not an Xbox because you can't play the old catalog of games, it's crazy. It does play a vast majority of the recent and a few older ones. What is the issue? It's very much an Xbox handheld. So would you guys go as far to say that the PlayStation Portal ain't a PlayStation device because it doesn't actually play any PlayStation games on it? It's just a streaming device? What are we doing here, guys? What are we doing? Because I feel like these type of conversations are stupid if this is what we're trying to complain about.
So we're Reloaded is the fact that it's a $40 awesome game with tons of maps and a long campaign you can play co-op and stuff like that.
Long. I could beat that game in like 3 to 4 hours.
Even things like Expedition 33, a game that's
on insane.
$50. That's 100 hours long and super fun. It just feels like people are getting scammed so much, ripped off so much.
How are we getting scammed? You know who's been getting scammed? These companies. You know who's been getting scammed? The people that wait for discounts. And now, mind you, I'm one of those people. But you can't expect, right, these companies to cater to your demands when they out here taking losses. These companies have had enough. How about you make a video talk about how PlayStation PSN is raising the price tag for doing absolutely nothing? Oh, no, you don't want to make that video, but of course you will make a video on Xbox that you clearly say that nobody cares about Xbox. Nobody's talking about Xbox. Bro, you talk about Xbox more than anybody in this community. What are you talking about? You got like 10,000 videos of Xbox is dead with these crazy thumbnails, even though you say, I'm tempted to get one. You know, but you guys that follow me, don't get it. But I'll make sure I get one for myself. Wow.
Every corner of the gaming industry, that if you come out and say, hey, here is a handheld that is powerful, that is juicy, and it's double the price of the Nintendo Switch, you're going to get laughed out of the room. But these have just been some off-the-cuff thoughts.
I mean, what are you talking about? It's a good device. I think most people be like, all right, well, I can't get that. I'll settle maybe for the older one. I'll settle for the Steam Deck. Because that's kind of how I'm going to speak on my perspective. Because that's kind of what I'm going to do. I'm not spending $800. The $700 is definitely pretty reasonable. But I'm saying when these new ROGs or whatever you want to call them, new handheld devices keep coming out, and it's only going to make the older one cheaper, which is only going to make it more affordable for people, so they can just buy the older ones. And then we got Steam Deck 2 coming out. Come on, guys. I'll probably be able to get a Steam Deck for $150 by the time everything's said and done. And to me, that is a wonderful price. I am not in no rush. Just because you ain't got, Floyd Mayweather money and you can't go out there and buy this and you got to rob your girlfriend or do something, I mean, this is crazy. But this is the same guy that said he wouldn't buy the Switch 2. He bought it. This is the same guy that said he ain't going to buy the Xbox Ally, and I guarantee he's going to have one. Because it's for reviews. Yeah, right. Okay, you reviewed the system, now return it. Why haven't you returned it? You reviewed it. Okay, you review the system, now return it. Maybe somebody else can get it. Oh, no, y'all don't do. You keep it in your home. It's excuses, bro. It's the fact that you people ain't genuine as to what you're talking about. Like I've said, I'll get a Switch 2 when the time is right. All I'm saying that Nintendo ain't getting my money directly. Not right now. Not with those game key card situations. I'm seeing how things play out as a smart consumer. I have so many games, bro. I have thousands of games. I'm not desperate. And the funny thing is, the way you guys go off this FOMO, it's like, what are y'all doing? I mean, the only people that would be doing this is people that don't have nothing. Because I have so much to play. I do. I don't need to run out and go buy this Xbox Ally right away. I don't. But y'all, I need it. Acting like a bunch of fiends, man. Like, when did gaming become like this, man? But like I said, hopefully you guys enjoy this video. Clearly he gonna buy it. And then when he get it, he gonna bash it. But I guarantee them PlayStation games gonna run pretty nice on that device, though, on that Xbox.